Are you having trouble winning a house because of multiple offers in today's crazy seller's market? If so, keep watching. My name is Devren Cook. I'm a local real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to show you today how to win a house in a multiple offer situation. Now, depending on where you're watching this, it may be different in your area, but here in North Texas, we have a very extreme seller's market, which means many homes are getting multiple offers and they're selling over list price. That's happening in most cases because of the amount of low inventory that we have. So I'm going to be going through about a dozen different things that as an agent you can use to get your buyer the house, and as a buyer you need to be making sure you're using and your agent is using so that way you can win the house. So the first thing that you need to do as a buyer is you need to write a letter to the sellers. Put their name on it and just give a brief description of who you are, why this house is perfect for you. People get a lot of sentimental feelings about their homes. Some people are very sad to leave their homes. So they want to know that their home is going to a good family who's going to love it and cherish it and take care of it just like they did. The goal of this letter really is, to get an emotional response, to make sure that you are not just another offer and another name on the table. The second thing that you need to have with your offer is you need to have a strong pre-approval letter from a reputable mortgage lender. And you need to have your credit checked, and you need to have provided proof of income via documentation to that lender. Now, what I mean by strong mortgage lender is you need to get somebody that has a reputation of being good and doing things on time. Ask your agent who they recommend, get on Zillow, look at reviews. The ones that I would not recommend to use are the big name banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. All of those big banks have a reputation amongst agents as not closing on time and having bad communication. Typically, you're not going to hear from them on the weekends, which is a big thing in real estate. And so go with a mortgage lender that's going to work weekends, that's going to get you a quick response, and is going to close and fund on time, so that way you as a buyer aren't getting delays and getting charged extra money. The third thing is you need to offer over asking price. If you have multiple offers, there's no way that you can go in under list price, and there's no way that you can go in at list price. What I always tell my clients is that you need to offer the most amount possible, such that if the home sold to someone else and you didn't get the house for just $100 more, you feel confident, you feel comfortable, you feel at peace with your decision. So when saying offer the most amount possible, don't just offer $1 million on a $250,000 home. Offer an amount that you are comfortable actually paying in the case that you win the house, but also that doesn't leave you feeling like, oh well, we should have offered more. Thing number 4 is the typical in real estate transactions is to offer 1% for earnest money, and in multiple offer situations, offer 2% or more if at all possible. Remember that money is ultimately going towards your down payment and closing costs, so you're not actually paying more, but it does show the seller by putting up more money that you are extremely interested and invested in buying this house. Number 5 is you need to pay for the title policy. This is going to be an insurance policy that is required to get on the house, and it's going to be a one-time charge of about $2,000, $2,500 or so, depending on the price of the house. Typically, sellers are the ones paying for this. But as a buyer in multiple offers, if you want to win the house, you need to pay for it. Number 6 is very simple. Do not ask for closing cost assistance. In multiple offer situations, the sellers are not wanting to pay your closing costs, so don't even ask for it. Number 7, you have in Texas the option to ask for a credit from the sellers for a home warranty. Typically $500, $600 or so. In multiple offers, do not ask for that credit. You can buy your own home warranty at your own time, and you do not need to be asking for the sellers for one. Number 8, this is huge. This is right up there with purchase price. You need to close as soon as possible. 30 days or less. Now, if you can close in less than 30 days, that's terrific, but you need to verify with your lender if you can close in that time, because that's largely going to be dependent upon them and their time frame to get everything done. Number 9, as far as an option period, that time where you get the inspection done and you can back out of the contract for any reason, you want no more than a 7-day option period in your offer. 5 days is better. If you could do even less, that's terrific. Because what the sellers see when they see a small option period is they're seeing that you have less time to back out of the offer, which gives them more confidence that the deal is actually going to close, they're going to sell their house, and they're going to get their money. Number 10, this is very helpful, especially if the home is an occupied home and not vacant. If the home is occupied, give the sellers a complimentary lease back. This means that you give them a period of time, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, where they get to live in the house after you've closed and they've gotten their money. That way they can get out of the house, they can get their moving truck, and they can move to the next one. Number 11 is you need to have a short financing contingency. preferably between 15 and 21 days. 15 days is very aggressive, and you're definitely going to need to check with your lender to make sure that they can get you financing approval in that time. The biggest holdup here is going to be the appraisal. Especially with so many homes going under contract, appraisals are super busy, and so you need to make sure that they can get this done in this amount of time. One way to shorten the length of time is you can order the appraisal while you are in the option period. We typically don't advise that because then you are risking that additional money should you back out of the house. But that is one way if you want to be super aggressive, so that way you can get the appraisal ordered right up front and you can shorten that financing contingency, which will ultimately shorten your time it takes to close on the house. Lastly, number 12, this is a huge deal, but this is largely going to be dependent on you as a buyer, how much money you have on hand. And that is to waive the appraisal contingency. The appraisal contingency, which is essentially part of the financing contingency, states that if the home does not approve and get final loan approval from the lender within a set amount of time, that you can back out. One of the biggest things that holds up a loan approval is the appraisal. Say you're offering $250,000 on a house and the appraisal comes back at $245,000. By waiving this financing contingency due to the appraisal, what you're essentially saying is that you're offering $250,000, but if the price comes in lower from the appraisal, say at $245,000, that you are willing to make up that difference in cash. And so you have to have that cash on hand, but sit down with your agent, discuss the comps, discuss how likely that would be to happen, and make sure you are very committed to the home if you go with this option. However, this option does come across as a very strong offer with the seller, because they're seeing that even regardless of an appraisal issue, that you're still going to pay for the house, you're not going to back out, and they're going to close and get their money. I hope all 12 of those things make a lot of sense. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below or reach out to me personally, and I'm happy to help you out. Again, my name is Devren Cook. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.